Welcome to the Red Couch. I'm just kidding.
That's a promo.
I love it.
We have a professional show to do, Adrian.
Right.
Get it together.
Welcome
to the Red Couch. Yeah.
Oh,
Where's we can carry up in this building, up in this piece.
Yes.
I hate all of you.
All right, great. That's love. Marriage, God's best. Hey, so welcome to the Red Couch. We're excited that you guys tuned in. Hello to the internet world.
Hello, internet.
We are joined
By the Careys. Hello.
Wars and Tamika Carey.
Yes.
Hey, like real talk.
This
you
is
guys
episode 3, by the way.
You guys may not know this about the Careys unless you know them. But they're like a cool family. Like they're like musician kids and like everybody sings.
They're like
they're
legit.
like
They're like the whining.
They're like the one today. Look, today at service before service started, they was like in the back harmonizing their own situation.
Just their own family.
This was not like praise. They was just like doing their own thing. Like and the Careys are mad fly, mad awesome.
And in case you can't tell, these are leather pants.
Get at them! Get at them!
Stop it.
Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you
out.
for
It's a pleasure.
Just kidding. Our 2-year-old is walking around to this.
Listen, we have children. Things happen. So it is what it is. I'm not even going to edit this out. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, guys.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Man.
We were talking about
One income family.
one income family.
Episode 3.
First of all, before we get into that, how long have you guys been married?
It'll be 19 years, February 1st.
February 1st coming up.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
We didn't
bro.
want to do the Valentine's thing, so we picked a Saturday where stuff was a little cheaper.
One income family.
I can't.
The truth. No, it was
Hey, that's
everything
real
was
talk.
booked up. No, come on.
It's so expensive.
You get married on Valentine's
Oh my
Day. I
gosh.
feel for y'all. I love you. If you spent $10,000, we spent half.
Thank you. Thank you. And we 19 years in.
19 years in.
What? Listen, 19 years
It's the
in.
truth.
19 years in.
It's the truth. 19
Awesome. Rub that
3
off on the
kids,
couch.
3 kids.
3 kids.
Yeah, 22, 18,
Yes.
and 16.
Teenagers and up. Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all done.
We got
We
the
are.
blended thing.
Yes, we got the blend.
We saw your first episode
And we
with
couldn't
Bree.
wait to
And
get on the couch.
I was like, look at this. That's some real stuff.
Yes.
But y'all getting here. I'm telling you, this
Yes.
is awesome.
They're not paid.
Yeah,
No,
this is amazing.
not paid endorsement.
No, but hey, listen, real talk though. There's not a lot of people talking about it. Come on, like real marriage,
Real stuff.
Right.
real stuff. Blended families we talked about. With
Yeah.
Christian and Melissa about newlyweds,
Yeah.
being married. How do you make that thing work? One income, which one talk to you. So many other topics that we're going to be talking about, but you don't see that, right? What you see scandal.
Right.
You see any other host of shows where it's let's cheat. I got a side chick, got a side piece. I'm siding this. Everything.
And the portrayal that is where your happiness is.
Right.
Outside of your marriage is
Right.
where you find happiness.
Yeah.
So
We're here to debunk that.
yeah,
Yeah.
19 years.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah,
Debunked.
yeah. So, but yeah. So the topic is one income, right? Which is for anyone who doesn't know us on a close-knit basis, something that we just stepped into. We're in that one income
Really?
world, and this is one of the reasons why we also want to talk to you is about Adrian. This has been her first week
Okay.
home
As a stay-home mom.
Wow.
Yes.
Hashtag stay home.
Hashtag stay home. Which is something that we never thought
Right.
Even
ever be.
No, never.
I think it was after Faith, and she was working. She had a job and
Yeah, we
everything.
didn't start off with
Yeah. And she came and something. She just said, "I think I want to stay home." And I was like, You're keeping it real.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? You're like, okay, 6 weeks. Fine.
Get that maternity leave,
She
girl.
was
Do that.
like, and the place where she was, they loved her. They were willing to roll the crib in there.
Really?
She could
Literally.
make her hours and all that other stuff. And I remember, and I'm not gonna say that it was like a okay, but I don't know exactly when there was a peace. I think because again, we were at that level of ride or die, Jesus. You got this.
Right.
We believe that we're supposed to be together, and my wife has always been one to always throughout the history of our marriage. She's been like, we got more than enough.
Yes.
I look at the bills and sometimes I don't. But she tells me, she says, you know what? We have more than enough. Our first situation living, we actually were staying with her grandmother around the corner.
Oh, we had the apartment first.
Yeah, we had the apartment.
Yeah.
But that was Lord.
Get you.
We might have to do a couple because this ain't the history. We stay focused on topic.
This is part one.
Because that was a whole. Because that was a, as a man wanting to take care of my family.
Yeah.
I wanted to provide. When I got married, I was like, okay, this is just what I have to do. My dad did it.
Yeah.
I saw him every day doing this sort of thing. So it was a natural falling into of being able to provide. So we're in our apartment, and Dad, I know you probably gonna see this. Our apartment that he owns, it wasn't the best place for raising kids. And I'll never forget it. She came to me and said, "There's an opportunity. My grandmother would like for us to," because she was going to be moving to San Diego, and I'm like, I don't want to stay in your grandmother's this and that.
Right.
And then I instantly became convicted because I was like, wow, it's not about me and my pride.
Right.
It's about what's best for
the family.
my family. If I had to swallow, my pride in that, man, where you living? I'm living with my wife's grandmama. It just don't,
Hey, real talk.
Real talk.
And thank God you had that conviction.
Yes. Because some folks just still have the pride to.
No shade.
No.
We need a shade jar.
Okay, we're going to put a shade jar. Yes.
No shade.
Y'all have
No
that.
Get your life.
So in that, I mean, when I say, I'm doing most of the talking. Talk about don't let you go.
We'll talk.
Okay, so we moved in with Grandma, and I'll tell you, gosh, living in that house, it was the most beautiful, beautiful experience. She ended up having to come back to LA for whatever reason. We were like, look, this is your house. Right. But she was like willing to, no, this is you guys' house. I think kind of she didn't want a lot of family members try to move in, and having a family kind of like living in there.
She had the house.
Yes.
She was a matriarch of the family, and so everybody came there for Thanksgiving, and so it was, it was everybody's house.
Yeah.
And I think she was at that point kind of tired of it being everybody's house. So let's rent it to Warris and Tamika.
Yeah.
He has a great job, stable family,
And she was wonderful, and I realized what benefit having my grandmother in the house with my kids. Not so it had nothing to do with babysitting. It had to do with her imparting certain things into my kids. Right. And at that time, she was at home, and it worked out really, really good.
Were you guys one income then?
We were one income. Because right after Faith was born, is when she did not go back.
So how many years in marriage were you guys in when you went one income?
Wow. We were a few months.
A few months.
After,
I don't know if it was quite a year.
Yeah.
It may have been a year.
Right.
Yeah, maybe a year. So right after Faith, if you include the time she was off for a little bit and then decided not to go back.
She was our honeymoon baby.
Yes, she
was.
Okay,
just
we got
keeping it real.
November. February 1st. Right. November 24th. Do the math. It adds up.
Wait, she was born November 21st?
24th.
Oh, yeah.
Jackson's our honeymoon baby.
Yeah. How did you decide? I'm not working anymore. Is it just an unction? Is it just did you come home and she was crying one day, or what is it that drove you to that place?
I was actually pregnant with Faye. So I was 8 months pregnant. And yes, it was an unction from the Holy Spirit. It was like, what are you going to add to this family that you have? Because I have a son prior to our marriage, and Faith coming now on board. And it's when you're at that point in your life and you're bringing life into the world, you start to evaluate some things and assess some things. What's really important, what really matters. And so it was that moment, and it was just, I was at work, and I came home and I just said, hey babe, I really think that I should stay home and raise these babies.
Right. And then the fear, because you don't want it to seem like, because if that's not the plan from the inception,
Right.
from
Right.
engagement,
Right.
right?
Yes,
So
yes,
now
yes,
you're
yes,
like,
yes.
now it's like,
Not even
right.
getting from dating. Like,
From
so
dating,
hey, when
like,
we get
hey,
married,
I
I
want
want
to
to
be a
stay
stay-at-home
home.
mom.
Which I think is
Are you
a
gonna
real-
think that
I think it's
I'm
a
trying
real
that
thing.
I tricked you? Or are you gonna think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to play you?
Right,
Or I
right,
got
right,
married
right,
just and now I'm not gonna work.
right.
I'm not gonna
Right.
contribute anymore. I'm just
Yes.
gonna like.
Okay.
As if
Yeah.
Right.
what we do is not contributing. I think that's
Right,
the
that's-
misnomer
yes.
that I would love to get out there,
Yes.
is that we add so much
Yes.
being at home.
Yes.
Yep.
It's far beyond what we could
Yes.
bring home financially.
Oh, yeah.
What we pour into our families when we're there. And it's so funny because we were talking about coming here because we were so excited. And I was just thinking, man, I don't know, 20 years ago, I would have a different, I think I have a different outlook on things because you experience life as you go along this
Right.
20-year journey,
Right.
being at home, and unfortunately society values and looks at it as not
Really
being,
devalues it.
You're not contributing. You're
Right.
not, are you being lazy?
Right.
And you're just here, you're at home doing nothing, and all of a sudden
And a lot of people look in the family.
Yeah.
Look at the fact that you're at home like it's easy.
Like
and
a
then
privileged life.
and then you can be their help, to be honest.
Right.
We got a lot of that. Well, okay, well, you're doing nothing,
You're
so
home
come
anyways.
in. Yes.
Yeah, you're home
As
anyway.
if we aren't doing
Right.
Something.
a job.
Right.
Yes, and you're always busy. The thing with stay-at-home moms is that it is 24/7.
Yep.
Listen.
Yep.
If it's 3 o'clock that they're waking up,
Doesn't matter.
sick,
Yep.
whatever the situation may be, we're on.
Yep.
Yep.
There's no
Ain't no
vacation.
PTO.
See,
Yeah.
because
There's no
keeping it
vacation.
real, keeping
There's
it real,
no-
I get to go to work and be very creative.
Yes.
I get lost in.
Yes.
I have to set timers to myself. Dude, go home. No, serious, because like around 6, I look at like 6:30. I'm like, gotta, head home and whatever, because I can get lost in the creative process, where, and then she gets home, it's like, okay, what you bringing for dinner? All these other different things. I'm like, okay, yeah.
And now
tag your it.
And now, okay, so tag your it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to ask about too, because do you feel like there's like, now that you're stay home, when I come home from work, I'm like, well, I need to rest. So
I'm decompressing.
Is there a true tag? I was home all day. Now I'm gonna go chill out, and now the kids are with you.
You know what? I might have until I like stayed home with them,
One day.
and I was
One day
like,
in 20 years.
I was like, but you know how
Right.
fast your day goes
Yes.
when you're at home.
Yeah.
I admire people who can work from home and organize and do all that stuff. I'm like, Bird, I couldn't work from home
Right.
because I'll start seeing all kind of
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
Bird,
Distracted.
just too distracted.
Yeah.
But I remember just staying home and kind of like witnessing what she had to go through, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's her.
See, because that's what, as the mother of the one income situation, right? As the wife of the union, I feel like there's so much there's potential for so much more for you to contribute, right?
Yes.
To
Exactly.
society, to if you're in church, to your ministry,
Yes.
to family, to whatever. But like, there's more gifts in you that, at least for me, and this is not a dig to anybody's company. I was with the company for 10 years, right? And but there's so much more that you literally have no mental capacity for
Right.
if you're working. Literally, like
Right.
if you have a real job, right, a career type of job, that is all. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
From 6 to, depending on what kind of day or week we're having, whatever time of night. I literally remember I'm in the shower in the morning trying to orchestrate my day. What does my staff need? What do I need to do today? I need to be focused today. This has to get done today. This report or whatever the situation is, because when you're vested somewhere, right?
That's right.
You're trying to do good. You want to do a good job, and like you said, you get lost. Well, I'm not necessarily lost in that process, but the requirements are there, right? It takes up
They
all your
demand
mental
your mental
capacity.
capacity.
Yes, it demands your mental capacity, and then to come home to still the 24/7 that you're still doing,
That's right.
Right.
because
That's
the
right.
load
It
is not
doesn't
lighter
end.
because I'm working.
That's right.
In fact,
That's right.
the laundry is growing.
Yeah.
Right,
And
yes.
everything
Everybody's
else is-
still hungry.
That's right.
Everybody still wants to
That's
snuggle
right.
and cuddle.
That's right.
Everybody's still dirty.
That's
Everybody's still.
Yeah, is that right? I'm your wife. I'm your wife.
Especially
That's
the little
right.
ones.
That's right.
That's right.
The
right.
requirements are
That's
the
right.
same exact requirements, right? Everybody, you
That's
still
right.
want me to come to your award ceremony. You still want to stay up and watch a movie. Like everybody still wants, and I'm like, but I gotta get up,
Right.
right? It's so much, and then the stuff that that your heart is for,
Yeah.
you don't have the capacity to do,
Right.
Yes.
and you can't be 100. The realization. Not just the realization, I'm going to go even deeper than that. The guilt of feeling like you need to be 100% of the time, in 100% of the places
Yeah.
is
That's
crushing. It's enough to crush
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
It's so much,
Absolutely.
right? Like,
So
I remember some nights, like, purposing in my mind, I'm going to stay up late with my husband tonight. I swear, I promise. I am not going to fall
Netflix and
asleep.
chill.
I'm going to go home. Right.
Be me.
I have
Netflix
stopped
and
at
chilling by
Coffee
myself.
Bean on the way home.
Yes.
Drank the Coffee Bean in the car.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna stay home with my husband, or trying to divide, especially with five people in the house.
Right.
Today,
Yeah.
I am only going to whatever Power Rangers, or I'm gonna play make believe, or I'm gonna trying to, So I'm like, so dang. So does that mean everybody only gets one day of the week,
Wow.
right?
Oh,
So
Lord.
JoJo gets Mondays,
Yeah.
Raj can have
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I think that's really
It's
what
so
I, what, I,
much.
what it came down to when you talked about being able to contribute so much more and staying home. One of the statistics that we looked up showed that you
They so smart. They look up statistics.
you expense
Right.
almost 30% of your take home by going to work.
Trying to go to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's,
absolutely.
That's so that's
30%.
off the top.
Off
And
top.
then let's say you paying some tithes.
Right.
That's
gone.
Right.
That's the top.
Let's say you got a 401k or any
Yeah.
retirement. That's gone.
That's
Yeah.
gone.
So maybe you're bringing childcare.
Yes.
Maybe
That's
you're
your whole
bringing
check.
maybe you're bringing home 30%,
Yeah.
and don't go to lunch.
Oh,
Right.
Lord.
So all of those
Right.
things, and you only see the kids for an average of 3
hours a
That's
day.
right.
4
That's
hours a
right.
day.
It was so watching her try to do that
It's a
battle
lot.
Wow.
was a lot, and the job was becoming so much more demanding, and I really felt that it was God just saying make a move in your life toward happiness, because right now where you are is not happiness. What she was experiencing was not happiness.
Yes.
And as a husband, as I'm supposed to be covering you,
Yeah.
I just watch you go out into the world every day and just get demolished.
Yes.
And then you got to come home
Right.
and just try to love on these babies. You trying to raise kings and queens,
Right.
and you seeing them for 3 hours a day. That's not going to happen.
It's impossible.
It's so funny. I wish I could say, this is a brilliant plan
Right.
that we said God spoke
Right.
and,
Right.
and we fought. No, we kind of fell into that,
Right.
and because what she was bringing home was probably, like you said, everything was going to be going to
Somewhere else
Exactly.
anyway.
daycare
Yeah.
and everything else.
Yeah.
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 And I try to tell younger people getting married, I try to tell them, you know what? See, dude, if you can learn to go your lifestyle around what you
One
make.
income.
Because in that, even if you're just saving
Yeah.
what she's making 100, I don't know what it'd be. It'd probably be a different show if she was making 100, 200 grand, and we had
Hey,
just keeping it
real talk.
real
'Cause
talk.
if that
Right.
was a six-figure
You
job,
know
listen,
me.
Done.
I'll just stay home. Listen, I'm cool. I can edit it out.
Yeah, I can edit it. I can edit it anyway.
Yes.
But no, just
That's
tell
the
them,
truth.
you know what? See if you can plan at least. I wish somebody would have given me this, whatever,
Right.
But to be able to see if you can get your spending. Because we decide what we spend. We choose our
Oh, man.
lifestyle.
Yes.
Oh, man.
We choose.
Yeah.
I chose an Infinity to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
So again.
And repair.
And repairs,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it costs to be the boss.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
know.
Right.
Yes.
You get to the whatever. So
Yeah.
we decide those things. But in hindsight, if I could go back in time and talk to myself, it'd be like, you know what, the Explorer is good.
Hey,
stay
Keep
with,
that forward. Right.
stay where you can, so you can make sure that your money is working.
Yes.
Yeah.
The most essential.
So we were saying when we were, trying to plan for the episode, we were like, okay, so we need to say which of these two things are true, right? Because of your one income family. Do you make $1 million or are you poor?
Like,
It's either.
that's a question. Like, what? So
This is LA and the struggle
Yes.
is real.
Yes.
So either
Yeah.
you make $1 million, Or we're on food stamps.
We have a joke. I said, baby, I'm going to come clean. I said, I'm looking right in the camera. I said, you know, for 19 years, I've had like a box of money buried in about $50 million or so. Would you be mad if I pulled that? Because I just wanted to trust you to see how well you can live check to check.
Right.
And because I feel that when you receive this $50 million,
I can't.
And that's our
I think it brings us back to the ultimate thing that comes with one income: sacrifice.
Yes.
And so you decide, like Warren was saying, you decide what that lifestyle is going to look like. But I guarantee you, it's going to include sacrifice.
Yeah, and that's what I was mentioning to Adrian. Like, okay, so what things, where's our life going to adjust, right? Because we've been living on two incomes, and I'm glad you guys bring those things up, because those are things that there's going to be some adjustment there. Right. But again, I'm willing to take that adjustment.
Yes.
You've already passed. Yeah.
Because listen, man, you're talking about my babies right now. You're talking about my babies.
You only get this time.
And we were spending close to $2,000 a month to put our babies in somebody else's life for an average of 8 to
40
10
hours a week.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 hours
or
a
more.
week.
Yeah.
I just believe with my whole heart that my wife is the best trainer, teacher, example, anything and everything.
We see what she's doing with the,
right?
Jackson.
She's amazing.
Reading and all kinds of stuff.
There's nobody better
to
impart to them. I believe my whole heart. There's just anybody, any teacher, any instructor. I don't care who you are. This woman right here will put you under the floor. She's amazing. So if I give them to you for 40 hours, if you got them, then we talking Stanford, we talking Howard, we talking full scholarship, we talk. Because I know what you're gonna impart into them. So. Yeah, we may not go skiing, or we may not take a family vacation, or we may not go to Catalina this year, or we may not. But Joe's going to Stanford. Because the reality is, listen, you're gonna pay for it either way. You either gonna pay on the front end.
Drops mic, boom.
Right, you're gonna pay on the front end with discipline, or you're gonna pay on the back end with consequence. You choose. Absolutely. You choose. So I would rather take the sacrifice on the front end of discipline, and we tighten it up. So that we can on the back end win, than on the back end be trying to pay for a full ride, pay out our own pocket because we're trying to get our kids to go to college.
It's scary to think, right? And today, what kids are dealing with, and so I think that my personal conviction, like that has literally kept me up at night, way before I even had a thought to stay home. Just the conviction of how am I gonna stay ahead? How am I gonna managing the world and my kids from work? Like, how am I going to be involved? Like, we dealt with some bullying last year, and that something we found out not on the back end, but we didn't find out at the inception of it, and the guilt that just weighed on me so heavy. And once I took inventory of it, what I realized was JoJo had been having just a rough couple of weeks, and when you're just like, oh, you're not being responsible. I can't believe you acted like that. And I finally was awake one night and I said, I really feel like it's something we need to pray about. Something is not right. This is not his nature. Right. Something is not right. And then again, not even from him, through another family, friends, kids, is the one that how we discovered this was happening at school. And I was like, if I miss this, and I considered myself pretty involved, working, what? Right. And we talking about third grade. So what the heck am I gonna miss in high school? Right. And how am I it's gonna break me as much as it's gonna break him? Because as a mother, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know.
You said something so important, because a lot of times as mothers, we think they lead us when they're young and they're babies, but it's the high school, the junior high, and the high school years,
that 10 and up,
that they
12
need.
and up,
they need because the challenges become so real, so real, and the consequences for the mistakes in high school
Yeah.
are that
Everlasting.
much, are that the stakes are raised.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Right,
Of course.
because in elementary school or whatever, you
Right.
can make a mistake,
Right.
and you can
Right.
recover and get another shot.
Yes.
Right. You can make a mistake in high school and you go behind bars. You
Right.
can make a mistake behind high school
Right.
and you got a baby. You can make a mistake in high school and that it's a whole
That's it.
nother
Your life is
realm
on a
of
whole different-
possibilities.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there's a lot. And again, it's just I'm super thankful that we're here and we've
Yeah.
come to this
Yeah.
place. Yes. So yeah, we that was a question that we were posing. What are the unspoken expectations? As my wife is saying, yes, I have an expectation that you are home now. There would be a possibility for more
You time.
me time,
Yeah.
connectedness time,
Bonding.
Yes, yes.
bonding time.
Yes, the little maid outfit
maid
with
outfits
the martini
Red
at the
bottoms
door.
on,
I can't.
like
Yes.
what? Either do it,
Yeah,
turn
no,
up.
no.
No, you're saying no. Everyone is saying no.
Everyone is saying
Why is everyone
I'm
saying
just saying,
no?
let's define
Uh-huh.
what do I now expect of my husband who is the sole provider?
Mm-hmm.
What do you now expect of your wife?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, did you guys experience expectations that you were like, oh, I didn't know you were expecting that of me now that I stay home? Or I didn't know that you
Yeah.
were expecting that of
Yeah.
me now that I...
Ours is more like that, what he said. Oh, I didn't know. Because again, as he stated earlier, we kind of just, we're walking through this thing.
Right.
There was we didn't sit down and talk about it like you guys are so wise to do that. But, we just said, okay, this is it and this is your position, this is your role, now go. And whatever that looked like, that's kind of what we did from day to day. And again, along the way, because we didn't talk about it, we had a lot of issues. There was a lot of halts. Like, well, hold on. I'm tired today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it's not a 9 to 5, but you forgot I was up with the baby that was teething?
Right.
You forgot that I didn't get sleep because you were snoring?
No, you didn't know because you were
Oh,
waiting.
yeah. Why you gotta be snoring now?
Sorry.
Listen.
That was shade. That's like, we gonna put the shade down.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Right. But that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm good. No.
But
no,
in the
no.
beginning, yes, it was the expectation of me cooking and cleaning.
Did I?
and-
This is a good question. Did I set those expectations, or are they something that?
No,
That-
no. This, an amazing man. I'm just gonna say that right now. Even though he wasn't gun ho and on board about my wife being at home, he really went into the role, and he said, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Then let's make it work." And he told me, I don't know if you remember, this was a discussion we had. It may have been an intense fellowship we had, but he was like, "Things are not going to be 50-50." Tamika. They're not going to be this even plane where you do this and you do that. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're carrying more of the weight, just like I'm feeling like I'm carrying more of the weight. And so it's going to be those days where both of us are feeling like it's more that we come together and feel, okay, well,
It's
what are we
100.
doing? What, right?
It's 100.
I'm giving
It
a
ain't 50-50.
you giving a and so let's come together,
good.
let's
It's
talk
not
about it.
50-50,
You know?
It's 100.
So-
That means there's going to be some overlap in some of the stuff that
That's
she,
so true.
quote unquote, I don't mind getting in the kitchen, making, cooking,
And see,
or
that's
doing
where I wanted to
whatever.
go too.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to listen. Has anybody met my husband? Do you guys know my husband? Roger is very purposeful in everything that he does.
Yeah.
Right? He's very intentional in everything that
Sounds like a song.
everything about Roger Melvin. Right? Is nothing about him is on accident. Right? And so I told him I had I think I had a legit.
That was a husband moment,
Right.
y'all. Just let y'all know that was good. It went boom, boom. I tell you.
Right,
Rewind that. Slow motion, right?
That was very diplomatic.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
diplomatic,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I had like a panic attack, right? Like maybe 2 weeks before my last day, because I was like, oh God, now I work for Roger.
Oh my God. What am I thinking?
Yes.
I literally
Oh my God.
had to tell. I was like, got up in the morning, alarm was off, just another day. When I was brushing my teeth, like, oh, I got 10 days left, and I started crying.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I know how my husband is.
Yeah.
Not like he's a
Right,
everybody knows
right.
he's not mean or a jerk,
Right.
but
Yeah.
he's so,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
and I was like, oh no, like, what does that mean? Like, I'm not ready. What do I need to be doing? Like, I need to. I don't even know what is that going to mean. And plus, we mentioned it in the previous episode. My husband is very big on his expectations meeting his reality, right? And so I feel like he kept thinking I was like joking about it, right? I kept saying, hey, you need to like write out a job description or something because I don't want to be I know that when his expectations in reality are not the
Right.
same,
Uh-huh.
it's not cool
Right.
in the house.
Right.
And so he was like, man, it's gonna be cool. Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, no, for real though.
Let's
I
write it
need
out.
like some
Yeah.
job duties,
Yeah.
some expectations on every Tuesday. I want
Right.
you. I would prefer to have that
Right.
than you come home and be like, I thought you was gone.
Right. What I think is so wise about you two, honestly, I mean, you joke about it, but seriously,
Yeah.
write it down, make it plain.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, when you guys are talking about it, and at least it's there,
Yeah.
and it's written, and,
Yeah.
and you can say, okay, well, this is what I expect. Again, we didn't do that. We kind of just stumbled onto it, and again, and it is, I'm sure, to save you quite a few arguments.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, where you aren't frustrated and you aren't frustrated.
Man, thank you guys very much for sharing that. Like real talk, not
Yeah.
like on the show level, but that's just really good.
It is good sound.
Good sound advice and good sound knowledge,
Thank
and we really appreciate it because it is something that we're
We're
in.
only a weekend.
We're only a weekend,
Uh-huh.
and we don't
Exactly.
want to, like in anything, we don't want to mess it up. Or
Right.
We don't want it to jeopardize this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
this is what's important, and I don't want.
Listen, I'll
I
go
don't-
back to work.
Yeah.
I don't want none
Yes.
messing this up.
Right.
So we really do appreciate you guys speaking into it.
You
We
guys are
appreciate the
doing a
wisdom.
wonderful
So,
job just in
yeah.
what you guys are
Yeah.
talking about and how you're communicating.
Yeah.
Y'all, we wish
That's
we would have
phenomenal.
had a
Exactly.
couch to talk about.
Yes, that would be
Yes.
nice.
Okay, so listen, I need to know. After 20 years, 19 is 20 today.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
After
Yeah.
20 years, now what? Like, now you still are at home? Now you just dwell in I'm at home? Like, kind of like my work here is done, your kids are grown.
Yeah.
Like, now I go back in the workforce? Like, where are you
And
now?
that's where I think it was midway of our marriage. He was saying, "Babe, you need to, come into your own. What is it that you want to do?" His thing, because he came from education, get a higher education, and you can figure it out. You can explore it. So
I knew she was an excellent mom.
So
Okay.
everybody, thank you, babe. Everybody may not have that opportunity to, really. Education may not be that road,
Right.
but to keeping your identity, understanding who you are, never losing that while you're at home, that's going to be vital too for the moms especially, and I guess even for dads too. If the roles are reversed,
Yeah.
please don't lose your identity in your children, and you lose who you are, and then you're really not contributing at that point to your family.
Right.
Losing yourself in it,
Is where you stop.
you're not going to add anything.
Right.
So he encouraged me higher education, and
But you found out it was something that you really wanted to do.
and going into it, it was excellent. It was an excellent idea. So now for us, year 19, now I'm getting into the field of medicine. What it looks like fully, I don't know. Lord help. But that's it. A love was developed because I was exposed. Because this man said, I think you're going to need something when these kids are grown, and
Right.
and just something for you. It wasn't even like, babe, I want the I want the lavish lifestyle, and I want to be able to relax when we retire. But no, really, to me, God, I want something for you so that you can grow and be whole. So,
That's great. We got
That's
good
good
wisdom
stuff.
here today.
We did.
Good
Yeah,
wisdom.
that was
Thank
good
you guys
stuff.
very much for joining
Thank
us
you,
on
Carey.
the Red Couch
Have us back,
Chronicles.
please.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
Thank you
it.
for watching.
Yes, indeed. More episodes to come,
episodes to
and
come.
more wisdom, and
Watch, like, and share.
yes, like my wife said, watch, like, and share.
That's like a thing people say.
Yes, it's a thing people say.
Yeah.
My wife said she knows that. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.